recently come to my attention that lots of actors have no idea who makes decisions at what point in the casting process. So let's fix that. I'm Kyla, I'm a casting director, and it is my mission to end gatekeeping in the casting process and make it clear for actors how it all works. So let's talk about who controls what. The very first thing that happens is a client contacts us, the casting office. This client may be production for a film, for a TV show. It may also be a production company that was hired to produce a commercial. It may be an in-house production team for a large company, in which case they're producing a commercial in-house with their own resources, or they're producing an industrial, whatever it is, they come to us. Sometimes they come with a lot of very specific information. Other times it's a little more vague. So when they have specific information, they may come and they may tell us exactly what demographic they're looking for. They may have a bunch of sides and know exactly which portions of each of those sides they want every actor to read for. They may even have physical comparisons, like famous actors who they want this person to look like, or famous actors whose vibe they want this person to emulate. We're open to whatever level of specificity they want to share with us. We also sometimes get clients who don't really know what they want. Sometimes they have a script, but they don't know which sides would be appropriate. Other times they don't have a script and they just have a couple of actions they'd like to see the actors do. Other times they don't even fully know what they want the actors to do. Sometimes they're clear on demographic, sometimes they're not. No matter what, it is our job to take that sort of nebulous information that they've given us and to translate it into actionable steps for the agents and for the actors. So the very first thing that we do is we input everything that they gave us into our casting system. So either Actors Access or Casting Networks. And that will let us set demographic filters. It will let us set age filters, ethnicity filters, gender filters. It will also let us give all the rate details, all of the shooting dates, any extra information that the actors or the agents should know. This is one of the reasons why it is so important when you are filling out your casting profiles to be sure that you have filled in all of your information. So all of your demographic information, your playable age range, any relevant skills. Because if we are not just looking within the agency pool, we sometimes will filter based on those factors. And if you haven't physically clicked every single box of what you are, that means we're not going to see you even if we are looking for exactly what you are. So no matter what, be sure to keep those accurate and be sure to always have them filled in on all of your casting profiles, because you never know when we're looking for you and we want to be able to find you. So generally though, we will send that call out to all of the agents. So while we are preparing our next steps, the agents are going through their rosters, often with a similar filtering tool as what I was just talking about, and looking for anyone who might be right for the role. The agents will then send their submissions to us, and we will get to go through and decide which actors we would like to see audition. Sometimes agents will send their actors with no comment. This is really common if it's an agent who we know very well or if it's actors who we work with very often, because we know exactly what we're getting from them. The quality of their audition is something that we're going to take for granted, so we don't need to be sold on those people. Other times agents may submit a wild card, somebody who's not quite right, but they have a reason why they submitted that person. That submission will often come with a note, just a quick little message about why they think we should look at this person. And then finally, agents will sometimes submit actors who are new to their roster, and those almost always come with a little additional note. Often they would like us to give this person a chance and they're hoping this would be a job that would be good for it. They also will say often that they would like to get feedback on this person, so it's kind of a mutual test run of how that person is going to do. So you may be submitted with notes and you may be submitted without notes. Depending on the size of the job, it's a pretty big variety how many people we're going to call in. Generally, we like calling in a lot. That doesn't mean necessarily that all of those auditions are going to be seen though, because we end up often doing some level of filtering. But because we tend to start all of our audition rounds with self-tapes, we would rather have more options and be able to whittle from there. And we'd like to be able to give people chances who may not have an opportunity if we were limited to an in-person schedule. So while all of that work is going on with the agents, I am taking the rest of the information that was given to us and making it understandable to the actors. So if the client gave us sides that they would like us to use, that's easy. We're going to attach the sides to the audition ticket. We also are going to add any relevant directions. So since we do self-tapes, we always like to add framing directions and slate directions. And then in the audition directions, we just add anything that we would be telling you in person if you were here with us. So if there are any notes about tone or about what just happened before the scene started, anything that I would tell you in the room if I were running the casting, that's what I try to include in the document that we attach. So please read the attached document, not just because I spent a lot of time on it, but also because it really will help you. So once we have selected the actors who we would like to see for our initial round of auditions, we are going to attach the audition doc and we will attach any relevant sides. Then we send it out. It will first go to the agents' inboxes and they will then release it to their talent. So this is why some people get auditions at different times, even though we sent out the mass audition at the same time. It's still up to your agent to approve and allow the sending to happen to the actors. So at this point, you are receiving an audition ticket. It is going to have that document, it's going to have any sides, and it's also going to have just the general demographic information that we have already inputted into the system. This is also when you're going to need to go through and check the dates, make sure that your availability is at this point looking good for that window, and just read through everything that we've included to make sure it's all stuff that you're good with. This is the best time to flag that. When you do your initial audition, whether it be an in-person or a self-tape, be sure to, as I've said it a billion times, read the directions really well, and as best you can, try to understand the world that you're fitting into and tailor your audition to fit that world, but keep it unique to you. Don't try and figure out what we want. We want to see you. We've given you the directions you need, and then you get to go from there. So let it be your own. We then will receive the auditions and we will watch them. We watch everyone for a couple of things. We are looking for video quality, just making sure we can see and hear you. We are looking for how well you followed the directions, and we are looking for cohesion amongst all of our auditions. So if you put your slate and your main audition in a different order than what we asked for, we are either going to have to edit them into the right place, ask you for another take where you do it properly and keep the order correct, or we're going to remove your audition, because it's not helpful for the client to see a bunch of auditions that look different. They're going to be confused by what we asked for instead of being able to just swiftly and easily compare every single audition that they see. So cohesion is very important and order is important. We don't want to disqualify somebody based on something arbitrary, but it is a pretty good indicator how serious somebody is going to be on set, whether or not they are able to follow these simple directions to get an appropriate self-tape in. So just think about it and be sure to be very accurate with what we ask for. The same is true if you're coming in for an in-person audition. If we've given you things that you need to know for your in-person audition, have them ready to go. So we watch all of your auditions, we vet for quality, and then we send them out to the client. Some clients will ask us to only send them selects. Sometimes they only want to see 5 per role, sometimes 10, sometimes 15. Other times clients want to see a wide variety. They want to see that we cast a wide net and they want to decide from there. These are often the clients who are a little unsure of what they're looking for, and they're kind of looking for an actor to sell them on it. So no matter what, we give them whatever they have asked for. Then they take it internally and they start looking at it. There are generally 2 to 3 different layers of approvals within those companies. There's the initial team who put together the casting. Then they will take their favorite from those castings and they will ask us to create them recommended folders. Those folders will go on to higher ups in production or maybe some executive who's involved in the casting process. Around the same time that we are creating recommended folders is when the first check avails go out. So what'll happen is, as we create the recommended folders, the client will say, can we confirm availability for X shoot date with these people? We will reach out to the agents and we will confirm availability for that date. We will also add any other information that's come up during that time. Maybe there's a fitting, maybe there are rehearsal dates, something else to factor in. So we include that in the check avail that we send to your agent. Check avails are also called holds. It's basically the same thing because it means that you are going to save those dates for this project unless something else comes up. If something else does come up, the right thing to do is to let us know about it first so that we have the option to either book or release you on those dates. Ideally, this whole check avail process only takes a couple of hours. The agents and the actors who have a good relationship, we contact the agent, they contact the actor immediately, and we get check avail status kind of instantly. That is really awesome for us because then we can return to the client and either confirm to them that all of their recommended people are available, or we can offer some tweaks or modifications if there are some people who are on their recommended list who are not available. And we definitely do not want the client to fall in love with somebody who is no longer available. So we will swiftly remove those people from the recommended list. Then the higher ups will go about making the final bookings. There can be a huge window of time between a check avail and a final booking. So within that, it could be a couple of days, it could be months. We will try as quickly and efficiently as we possibly can to get you booked as soon as we know something. Often during this time, if there's been like a week-long wait, the agents will contact us and just say, hello, do you have any updates on this check avail? And we will follow up with the client and just see. Finally, when they have decided that they are booking people, they are going to contact us and have us make the bookings. So we will contact your agent, we will confirm the booking, we will confirm the rate, we will confirm any other relevant information. This is the time when your agent is able to negotiate for higher pay. That is not applicable to every job. It is generally once you have some kind of credits behind you or some kind of extenuating circumstance where it would be appropriate to ask for more money. But regardless, it's your agent who handles this with production, and this is when they do it. So generally agents will also strategize that process with their actors, making sure that the actors are comfortable with them asking for more and in a way risking the job in order to get that extra pay. And then once you have been booked, the final thing to do is you wait for a call sheet and go to set. Call sheets are often sent out very, very last minute, and they are entirely in the hands of production. Casting has nothing to do with them, despite that we are often contacted for them. I am sorry for how late they usually go out. That's a production thing. Productions, I swear, are always running super last minute, and it is not wild to get a call sheet at 9 p.m. before a 6 a.m. call. And I know that sucks, but that is not us. That's on production. So they will be sending that to you, and then you go on set. Once you are done on set, we will often get feedback from you. Most jobs like to give us a little bit of info on who did super well, anybody who they maybe had some issues with. Sometimes we will tell that to the agents. Other times we will just file that knowledge away for our own personal knowledge. It depends on what the feedback was. But we often hear about you, and we are often able to keep track of how you did on set. And that's part of how we build our list of people who we trust and who we think are awesome and who we know we are always going to call in. Hopefully that helps demystify some of the process. Let me know if you have any specific questions about any of that. And if you liked this kind of thing, follow along.